Let's just talk about GameStop stock. Currently trades at $25, but what's been happening and why is the stock going crazy up? Why did it go up all the way back in 2021 and even before that? So let's go ahead and just start. So GameStop, dying company. Okay, literally went completely dead sales. Sales went up. They peaked at about 9.5 billion. Trailing 12 months even today, 4.9. Like that's not necessarily 50%, but that's getting close to that 50% level of all-time sales. Okay, it might not even be all time, but still, from very high levels, and the stock was a dying company. The stock price fell from 2013, let's just say, end of 2013, to peak, lows, 91%. The stock was doing terrible. The company was dying. But then in 2019, you had this guy, Keith Gill. Now, I can't necessarily say his name. I don't know if my channel's going to get flagged. This is my first video, so I don't want that to happen. But here's what happened. In 2019, he bought a ton of calls on GameStop. About 50 grand worth. Okay? Made a lot of money. Now, you can see again here. 62 grand, September 2019. We're almost about to hit that 5-year mark of when this whole kind of thing started to give GameStop its hype. Okay? DFV is the reason why this happened, to be quite honest, because I think without him, nobody would have picked up, at least that we know of. So, then also, after this, you have Ryan Cohen, okay, known for Chewy, big investor through RC Ventures, his company. They invested in about 13% stake in a GameStop in August of 2020. This is reported in December, but I believe it actually went through in August of 2020. And then, what happened next? The most glamorous squeeze of all time, okay? We have right here in 2021, the stock was, as you can see, very flat. And then what happens? It goes from $4.36 all the way up to 118. And that's not even the actual prices. I believe it went up much higher. Like I can go ahead and change my candles, just make them regular candles. And let's go ahead and go back. Sorry for the little glitches. You might not see it on an intraday level, but the stock did hit levels of $300 at one point. And halting and different things stopped the stock from going up any higher. So the price just went crazy. But why did that happen? So it was a mix of two things. One, naked short interest. Okay, it was a short squeeze. When you short a stock, you have to borrow it and you have to buy it back. So all these people who shorted it, the stock was rising in price. Let me go ahead and visualize it out. Okay, I'll draw this. The stock was going up in price, but when you short the stock, you have to, first off, you sell it, and then you have to go back and buy the stock. Okay, so it's the exact opposite. So once you short it, at some point in time, whether that be today, tomorrow, 3 years from now, at some point in time, you have to buy that stock back. But the further the price goes up, when you're selling it, you're kind of using borrowed money. So you're not necessarily owning the stock, and you're using other people's money. So they're going to be monitoring you to make sure that their money is safe. But as the stock price goes up, when you're shorting it, that's doing the exact opposite of what you want. So these people whose money you're using, they want their money back. So they're going to give you this thing called a margin call. And they're going to be like, you know what, go buy those shares. And everybody else who's shorting the stock, that's what's happening. All the people who they're using their money, they're getting told, buy the stock because you can't be shorting this anymore. You've lost us money. We don't trust you anymore. So what happened? All these people started buying the stock because they had to. They were obligated to. And so what did that do? It caused the stock to look like this. And that's what happened. And especially when you have, this is a report from the SEC, a 123% short interest. That means you have naked shorts. That means people are shorting stocks that don't even exist in the company's float, in the company's outstanding shares. So it was bound to happen that this was going to happen, that this squeeze was going to happen. And then also I have something called a gamma squeeze. It's kind of similar to a short squeeze, but a little bit different. So instead of shorting the stock, you sold options. Okay, let's say you sold a call. Okay, so if you sold a call, at some point in time, if that get exercised, you have to give somebody who bought that call their 100 shares. What if you don't have those 100 shares, but they exercise their call and they want their 100 shares? Well, you're actually effed, and you have to go buy those shares, further adding volume to the stock. Further what? Pushing the price up. And that is another key component of what happened to GameStop in 2021. Things were just going kind of crazy. Even on Morningstar, the short interest in GME was over 100%, meaning many hedge funds, in all probability, had sold some GameStop shares without actually borrowing them first, which it's required when you short sell a stock. So these people were screwed when they bet against it, and everything was just not going in their direction. Now, another key note to kind of add into the perspective, Elon Musk tweeted on January 26th, GameStop. The stock absolutely ran up. This is around that same time. He probably was just doing it for fun, but it also added volume and more key components into buying the stock. But then, things kind of carried on. A lot of YouTube channels were making videos, and the stock was doing its thing. From about here, I'd say, to here. The stock was doing its thing. Roaring Kitty kind of took a leave of absence, and we can see that in his Twitter from June 18th, 2021 to May 12th, literally a month ago. And what happened with that? He decided to kind of revive himself. This tweet made the stock run up like crazy. So let's just go ahead and look at it. He made that tweet on what day was it? May 12th. Well, from May 10th to May 14th, the stock went up almost 200%, 179%. This guy has a huge effect on the stock. And then, things kind of, as all things happen, they kind of come back down. And then he kind of announced, here's my position in the stock. Why is the stock up today? Because he bought 5 million shares and 120,000 call options, $65 million worth into the stock. Here was his update on June 10th. He had 5 million shares, 120,000 call options, with them expiring literally in 2 days. Today is June 19th. They expire on June 21st at the $20 call, but he exercised them. So what did that mean? He got more shares. He didn't sell his options. He didn't do anything. He exercised them. So he added more shares into his account, kind of almost confirming his diamond hands perspective. Now, 9 million shares in this quantity. He owns 9 million shares of the company, which is actually absurd. That's a lot of shares. Okay, so we go ahead and look a little bit more into what's happening with the stock and everything. This is literally the most gist basis I can give you of what's happening with GameStop stock. I was really confused, and I thought it was important for other people to know what's going on. So what does the future look like for this stock? I wish I had a crystal ball to tell you, but I don't. We can see this is the options chain for GameStop for June 21st. This is going to be the third Friday of the month. The big options week of the month, big options Friday, 60,000 open interest on the 20, which is what he had, 33.5 on the 25, and 70,000 on the 30. So that would actually be really interesting to see if somehow the stock can up in price to 30. Am I saying it's going to happen? No, I'm not. But I also kind of want to give a few key words. One, I do not own any GameStop stock. My channel is strictly for kind of education and me saying what I see, not necessarily for me to tell you buy this stock. I probably will occasionally make videos of stock I'm buying or this and that, but I'm not here to validate other people's beliefs or bias or opinions. I'm just here to give you the information. And I'm going to be completely honest, with GameStop, please be super careful, like genuinely, and please just be ultra careful. Like there's a lot of people in this movement that I think don't really know what's going on, and you're just doing it to do it. And I'm not hating on you for that, but please just be careful. Don't think it's cool to be a degenerate and lose all your money. Be a degenerate in an educated manner. Be smart about it, please. There's no reason for you to just go out and buy GameStop shares to buy GameStop shares. Do your research, understand what's going on. And I wanted to make this video to kind of provide that research for you. So if you did enjoy this video, subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications for future videos. I'm going to make videos similar to this, stocks research, investment strategies, options, whatever it is. I have experience in equity research, actually. I know I sound young because I am. I don't have the most experience, but I just want to be as organic and raw with you. So if you enjoyed it, thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you in the next video.